I like to talk about the concept of the different hats that we wear in terms of the roles that we play. So I'll
Yeah.
say, like, for example, like I would use you, right? I would say you're a man, you're a father, and you were married, correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and a husband. So you got at least three roles. So what are you doing to make sure you're addressing each of those people? Because if we don't, then there's a deficiency, there's an imbalance that's going to creep up later on down the road, right? So,
Mhm.
for example, I'll get like a lot of moms, because usually moms are bringing sons to me. So I'll get like moms, and they'll talk about like how they find a lot of value working and being able to provide, and they talk a lot about their children, but I don't hear them talk a lot about themselves. They're like, oh no, because I get most of my fulfillment from being a mother. I was like, ma'am,
Yeah.
I don't agree. You were a woman before your son or daughter was here. You're still a woman now. If you don't address those aspects of what brings you joy and fulfillment outside of being a mother, number one, what are you going to do when they're grown and they don't live with you anymore? Number two, how are you going to maintain yourself between now and then? Because that means there's huge parts of your life that you're neglecting,
Yeah.
and that's not healthy. And so when you talk about self-care, to me, like, that's why that's so critical. And when I talk about like relationships, like romantic and then even children, right? So I'll usually like rank them in an order, because this has always rang true for me. I'm like, you're number one, you're always at the top of your tower, pyramid, whatever you want to call it, you're at the top. And then if you're married, for example, you're in a romantic relationship, that relationship would then come next, because if you're not well, you won't do well in your relationship. And then
Mhm.
your children, and that relationship comes third. Not because your children are less important, it's just it's a hierarchy for a reason. If I'm
Yeah.
not good here, my relationship's not good, that's the foundation of the family. So then the children aren't going to be well, because they're witnessing all of these dysfunction around them, and that's not the examples that we want to demonstrate. So I'm always a big believer in like understanding our roles, understanding boundaries. If we don't have them, how do you create them? The need to maintain them effectively. And a lot of it comes back to, as you said, with men, we're used to, I feel, the traditional roles of work and provide, and nobody really cares what you think. Nobody really cares
Mhm.
how you feel. Just make sure you have money, and um, sort of if you're on the child side, be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
And I don't, I very strongly disagree. So I'm very much a big proponent of, no, we want to encourage men to speak up. We don't want you to just provide money and have no emotional connection to the people in your family. So we have to work really hard to create that conversation and that dynamic so that everybody is comfortable doing that. But it will take time, because
Mhm.
men fundamentally, I think we're very much behind, not because we're not emotional creatures, but we just come up in societies that don't seem to value it as much or promote it as much. But I hope that
Yeah.
with people like you and I, and these types of conversations, that it will become more normalized, and that over time we won't be having to point those things out so much anymore. But
Mhm.
we are where we are today.